everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now, we have something really exciting for you today. It is another leaked audition tape. Now, this one seems to showcase the madness associated with the male half of the true source. That's really exciting. It's the first time we've seen this. So before we get going, spoiler warning. If you haven't read at least the first 14 books of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, yes, that's the entire series up to and including A Memory of Light, be forewarned, I will ruin plot points and major character arcs for you with this video. Alright, with that being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, so what do we have for you today? Well, it's something pretty exciting. It's a leaked audition tape like we mentioned earlier, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. I won't show it for a couple of different reasons. First one being, Wheel of Time and Prime doesn't like these things being out there, so they're probably going to ask me to have it taken down, and they probably won't like it being in my video. So there's that, and I don't want to. I don't want them after me. Second one being is the actress in question in this leaked audition tape is in the show, which is really very neat. She landed a role. She actually has a role in the show, which is fantastic. But I don't want to get her in any trouble because this is her audition tape and it is out there. So what we'll do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the audition tape. We'll read it off to you. I have a transcript of it here, so I'll read it, and then we'll discuss what I think the characters in it, who I think the characters in it are, and what's going on there. So we're going to do those things. All right, so let's read the transcript first. I have to read it because I have a terrible memory. All right, so there's three people. There's person one, the Naga Reborn, and then there's the actress. So I'll just use those names. So person one, no, come with me. The Naga Reborn, go. The actress, kill them. Person one, you will never wear the silver crown. The Naga Reborn, I don't want to. What does a crown mean to a Naga Reborn? Person one, you really believe it, don't you? The Naga Reborn, you will too. The actress, kill him. Be done with it. Person one, I sent word to the stone temple. The witches will come for you. The Naga Reborn, those women should be following me, not fighting me, but they're afraid the Naga will break the world again, throw us back thousands of years just like the last one did. They forget that the Naga is just as likely to save the world as break it. The actress, kill him. Show him your power. The Naga Reborn, is that your solution to everything? Person one, who are you talking to? You've gone mad already? The actress, kill him. Pretty neat, huh? And yeah, I kind of whispered it like that because that's how she did it in the audition tape, which was kind of cool. So we have one person who could be really anyone. We have the Naga Reborn, who is obviously someone who thinks they're the Dragon Reborn, and then we have the actress in question who is playing the madness in his head. All right, so who do we think they could be? Well, you've noticed I used a lot of Logain imagery in the video here, which is kind of on purpose because he's really the only other Dragon Reborn that we know of in the first couple of books. So I'm going to go on a limb here and say they're probably not going to introduce Taim this early in the book series, or this year early in the show, because he's not a part of the book series until much later. And he becomes a fairly big part later on, but we don't even see him. He's mentioned a couple times, so that's about it. So the only real two people that are showcased in the books are Rand, who is the Dragon Reborn and can channel, and Logain, who is a false dragon who ends up being gentled, tried at the tower, escapes, gets healed again by Nynaeve, and spreads the word of the Red Sisters doing bad things to him, and then eventually escapes from Saladar and runs off and joins Black Tower again and does his thing there. So it's possible, and it's entirely possible, that this person, the Naga Reborn in this audition tape, is Logain. It's also possible it could be any number of other male channelers, and we'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to tell you why I don't like this person being Logain. And it's for no other reason than just a dislike for the idea of Logain being mad this early in the show. And that's because I like Logain. He's a great character. His madness does not present itself this way. If you notice, if you've read the books, that the madness for the male channelers all seem to present themselves a little bit differently, and they run the gamut. They're all over the place. So you have Rand, who hears voices in his head. You have Logain, who's very anxious. You have a person who reverts back to childhood. You have another person who sees shadows and they're out to get him. You have another person who's very fearful all the time. They're all over the place with the madness. The madness is a little bit different for everyone in the books. And that's completely, I believe, on purpose. And Robert Jordan did an excellent job showcasing a vast range of different things that could be perceived as mental illness, which is fantastic as far as the madness goes in the books. I like the idea that it's personal and it's individual and it's different for everybody. So the fact that this was a voice in someone's head, like Rand, means that I would say that maybe we're going to see this, but I don't think they would do this with Logain. They'd be a little too on the nose with it because he's the only other real big false dragon we see, and we know they're expanding a storyline in the first season. We know that they've done filming in Spain, where we speculated that's where he gets stripped of his lands and his titles and proclaims himself as the Dragon Reborn. We know there's battle scenes with him in it. We know that we see him getting taken. We see the procession with him in the cage and whatnot. We know all of these things. We know that Rafe has said he gets an expanded storyline because he believes that Logain deserves more of that, which I am completely in agreement with. I love Logain as a character, and one of the disappointments I had with the book series was that he did not get more page time, I guess you'd say. And so I'd be happy to see him get more screen time as a main character. I'd be super happy with that. So having him go mad this early in the book, or in the season, like in the show, would cause a lot of problems. Because yeah, he can be gentled, but he's still mad. Being gentle doesn't cure the madness. And then when he gains his powers back later, he'll still just keep going mad. And that's that. So we don't want to see that. You don't want this awesome character to be mad too early in the book series, because then he can't. It doesn't make sense that he can do some of the things he does later on. So I don't like the idea of this person being Logain. Who else could it be, though? I mean, really, like, who else has called himself the Dragon Reborn that early? Taim? I don't think we'll see him because, again, it's one of those ideas. Unless they really expand his role, you're not going to see a very major character for 20 minutes in one episode and then never see them again for 4 seasons. Like, that makes no sense. Even Rafe has said that that's one of the hurdles they've had, and they've had to change things around for that reason. So we know it's probably not Taim. That makes sense to me. Who else could it be? Well, we have a few other channelers mentioned in the first couple books. We have a couple false dragons, Raylan Darksbane, Guer Amansalon, a few other ones like that. Could be a flashback to one of those, where they're showcasing their madness, where they think they're the Dragon Reborn. They mentioned a silver crown. Could be any crown in the book series, really. Could be Andor's crown, Crown of Roses. Could be the Broken Crown of Saldea. Could be the Crown of Swords from Ilyn. Could be any of them, really, because Stone Temple, Witches, Naga Reborn, they could use a code word for it. So we can't really use that as a basis of who this person could be. So it could be one of the false dragons in a flashback, which would make sense during one of the storytelling sessions, or when Rand touches the power, when the Dark One may even show Rand images of what could happen to him. All those things are possible. But I like the theory that this particular person is Owen, Tom's nephew. Now, Owen is only mentioned very briefly in the books, and it's known that he can channel, and that's part of the reason why Tom is helping the boys initially, is because he feels guilty over not getting away from Andor to help his nephew, who was taken up by the Radasha, and then, he died. So I like the idea of them expanding Owen's role a little bit in a flashback for Tom. Now, I'm thinking we have some evidence that this is going to happen already, and that is the fact that they've already changed one of Alana's warders' names from Owen, because they didn't tell us why, but they changed the name, and the only reason that anyone could come up with this is that it's too close to Tom's nephew's name, which really, realistically, with millions of names you could choose from, to have 2 people named Owen that early in the show or the book series right away, it doesn't really make much sense. But if they only mention him briefly, it shouldn't really matter, right? Like, if he's only mentioned for a 30-second stint when Tom tells his story to Rand and Matt, maybe that's not a big deal. But if they showcase him, if they show him on screen, if they showcase him being mad, showcase him, grappling with struggling with the power and whatnot, as a flashback when Tom talks about it, then yeah, maybe it's quite possible. The other thing is our flashbacks for our false dragons could also be when Tom does his storytelling. He tells the tales of all the old false dragons and stuff, and we see the flashbacks of it, and he winds the tale such that these things are woven into it, and we see it on screen. That's a possibility as well. So the takeaway from this is, could be Logain. I don't like that idea. Could be Owen, Tom's son. That's my favorite idea. Could be any one of the other false dragons. ideally during a storytelling session by Tom. I like that. I don't think it's Taim. I don't think it's anyone else we see later on in the series. So there's all those things. With that being said, all of this could be completely not in the show at all in any way, shape, or form, and it's just a bit of fun, and I'm speculating here for no reason to. So there is that. We'll see. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Do you think that this could be Owen? Do you think it could be one of the false dragons? Do you think it's one of the, Tom's tales he's telling, weaving it that way? Do you think it could be Taim? Do you think it could be someone else? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. All right, so before we get going, we're going to do something else here that I haven't done in quite some time, and that is our community section. It's pretty neat, huh? So we have a something I'm going to showcase here. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. It is a new news site. Now, this new news site is not in English, so we have a lot of different English news sites currently right now. So we have Wotseries.com, we have Dragonmount, we have The Great Blight, we have a few other ones. We have a lot of English-speaking YouTube channels that cover the news, like myself, and then we have other YouTubers like the Badger Reborn, the Dusty Wheel, Unraveling the Pattern, Reading the Pattern, a few other ones, but they're all English. This particular website is a Portuguese website. Now, I'm going to read a little bit here that they sent me about this particular website, and it's kind of neat because the Portuguese it's a niche market, but they don't have much out there for them. So this particular website, and if you want, it's in the description box down below. So if you are a Portuguese speaking person that watches the channel, and I do know that about 4% of my viewers are Portuguese, so there you have it. Click the link down below and follow your news in Portuguese on this particular website. So it's really neat. There's a lot of cool things on there. They cover any major news that comes out. So anything like Wheel of Time on Prime puts out news, or the Wheel of Time Wednesdays, things like that. That all shows up there. They cover any of the other videos that we put out. Also, they cover not just Wheel of Time stuff, but any other fantasy news. So think of the Daniel Green of websites for the Portuguese-speaking audience is what this particular website is. Really fantastic site, a lot of great imagery on it. It's really well put together, easy to navigate. So again, a link for this website is in the description box down below. Go check them out. And it's the Falso Drago. I don't pronounce things very well sometimes, but it means false dragon in Portuguese, which it's pretty neat. So go take a look at that. Check it out. All right, with all that out of the way, thank you so much with me sticking with me here to the very end. Here's to many more.